And we are live. What's good, people? Welcome to Pros Only TV. You're here with myself, Roland. I got my guest Darren in the building. We're about to talk all the Champions League stuff in a minute, but we're gonna intro this right now. Let's go.
Drop a can.
Yes, people, back in the building. Darren, you got me. You got put yourself on mute.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, all good. Yeah. All right. Cool. All right, we're back in the building. The UCL SHOW, episode 2, Matchday 2. We've got Darren in the building, big Chelsea fan. What are you saying, my guy? You good?
Yeah, what's good, man? Thank you for having me. Yeah, big Chelsea fan, obviously. Oh, we got a lot to talk about, man. What a crazy match day, man. It's crazy.
It's been a bit mad, yeah. But before we get into today's games, let's start off with yesterday. So the game of the round, I believe, before obviously today, PSG versus Man City. What a game yesterday! Did you watch it?
Yeah, that was tasty. Still, I can't even lie. I was happy for my boy Messi. You know, got a fitting goal for a first one. You know, that was just got everybody off their feet. You know, standing.
It was a good goal. It was a good goal. I mean, yeah, obviously goal from Gay to open the scoring. And then, Messi getting that goal. Yeah, first goal for PSG. Whole stadium was gassed. And obviously, Mbappe and Neymar with Messi, that link up is starting to click right now. You know what I mean? Like in the game, you saw it in little spells. And I was just like, this is the start of something. I feel like PSG, they're under pressure to win this Champions League this season, especially with that Messi signing. But, man, it was a good game. Like, what do you think about City, man? Like, they were dominating the game in spells yesterday.
Yeah, and I was gonna say, like, obviously 2-0. I felt like it. I don't want to say flat as PSG because they did play really well, but you know, City were, they were trying. They did sort of come with the ball, like you said. They dominated with possession for quite a lot of spells. You know, De Bruyne, Mahrez were sort of knocking on the door. I feel one of the players that me personally I felt struggled. Grealish, man. He tried. Like, he was getting knocked down. The referees weren't giving him anything, and obviously forced substitution off. I thought, like Hakimi, he let him know like he was there. Like I guess Pochettino set up really well. Like they were comfortable defending, which you wouldn't really associate with PSG like that, I guess. But no, they did a good job, and I think City they struggled to like break them down. They weren't really getting any clear cut chances from what I was seeing, but
yeah. Because I mean that midfield three, obviously Verratti, world class like defensive midfield, of course. Then you've got Herrera in there buzzing around, and then you've got Gay doing the same kind of job, similar type of job, and he just couldn't get through, man. And it's just like I was kind of looking at their tactics yesterday, and I was just like they were really sitting back, right, and then just countering, literally like just one ball out to either Hakimi or to Neymar, and they were gone, and or to Mbappe, and they were gone, and it was just like. I was looking at them a bit funny. I was like, "Is this what Poch has got to give? Like, is it all we're doing? Just counter attack, yeah?" But hey, they got the win, innit? So we can't say nothing. I mean, hey, did you see that that tackle that De Bruyne did on Gay? That was a bad tackle.
That was bad, and I'm surprised it wasn't. Even when they looked back at it, still no,
And this is what I'm saying. We got VAR. We got VAR in the Champions League. There's no consistency here, man. Because obviously, match day 1, Wan-Bissaka got a red card for a very similar tackle, and then you're seeing De Bruyne do it in this game, and then boom, yellow card. So it's a bit mad.
It's kind of mad. Didn't Wan-Bissaka get 2 game ban as well?
Yeah, he got 2 games. Yeah. I saw that today, and I was just crazy. Like, that's mad. Like apparently some new rule about like a bit of like some added force or something like that in the tackle. So. And how can you judge that after the fact? You get me?
Yeah, it don't make sense. It don't add up. And for them to not even consider it, consistency, man. Looks like the referees, not only in English football, but even in the European stage, always dodgy. I don't know why, but
wait, let me get into some comments before we move on to something else. Big up Eagle Eye Football Rich in the comments. Popcorn Gang, as always. Man said you lot were lucky. He's talking about United. Right, it's cool, man. Don't worry. We're gonna talk about it. Big up Big Raw Football Talk in the building. It says, see you. Big up Manchester Mania. It says, send the invite link to the chat, bro. I'm gonna start doing call-ins, but not right now. I'm trying to warm myself up into it, man, because I'm trying to do a lot right now, innit? So we'll do it soon. Big up Vic again in the chat. It says Rich Light, bruv. I say so I can Viva Ronaldo. Big up Brad. Big up Brad in the building. Fart biscuits. I don't know what that means. I've lost my voice. I'm more gassed than Matic is at halftime. I think he's referring to Boss. He was referring to Barcelona before. There's a big pile of willies. I'm a bit hyper. I hear you, my guy. I hear you. Boy, Sterling yesterday, yeah. He was looking a bit. I don't know what to say in it. Like, I feel like he's not happy being a rotational member of that squad. Like, he feels like he deserves a bit more respect. He should be in that starting 11 more than anybody, really. Like, when you look at his record and what he's done over the last 4 years under Pep, he was looking a bit lost yesterday. I can't even lie. What do you think about it, man?
Yeah, no. Like you said, like when I mentioned the good performances earlier, even to be fair, Mahrez didn't really do much either. But you know, Sterling. When you mention Sterling, he is one of the last you sort of mentioned that causes problems nowadays. I feel like with City, like you said, he does deserve the respect, considering the amount he's done for the club and the amount of big games, and he was one of the most important players one of the seasons they won the league and done the madness. But in general, his overall play as of right now, I can see why Pep doesn't start him all the time. But like you said, I feel like it's starting to conflict with the way he's maybe playing, some of the decision making he does. Like you said, he looks lost. He doesn't seem that type of guy that what we all know him best for is either hugging the touchline, the sidelines, and just squeezing in and coming in and tapping the ball in if somebody crosses it. Now he don't do that. He wants to start dribbling and start to be like bullcrit. Like Sterling, you're not. I personally, I've never seen Sterling to be that guy at City anyway. So yeah, no, I don't know if on his mind he's thinking about moving on or because I don't see Pep. I don't see Pep trying to bring him back. I don't see him trying to make him the main guy anymore. There's too many attackers in that team.
Yeah, it's a bit mad. And the thing about it is, I think we all know how Pep rotates his teams, and it's like nobody's really safe. Do you know what I mean? Like it's literally you're in and out across the season, and I think he manages it pretty well because at the end of the season they're usually arriving at some sort of trophy or something. But for certain players, they've got the ego and they're like, look, I'm doing well enough to be in this team week in, week out, regardless of what the manager wants to do. But it is what it is. Yesterday, another thing I noticed before we move on to another game, the lack of striker was really affecting City in the moments where they needed to hold the ball up to just bring others into play. Didn't have that focal point. Is that affecting them right now?
Most definitely. And I think if there's any game to draw from to prove that, like there it is. I think during in the league as well, at some point they drew against the team, and it's like, what if they just had that striker that can poke it in? And you look at not trying to talk about other games, but you look at Man U today, the guy they were trying to go for, what does he do? Literally gets you the goal, So strikers, they're in terms of spines, they're a vital part of the team. And like you said, City that day when they were going forward, when they're trying to do stuff, if nothing's going on, you want to at least just have that focal point. That's like let's just hope, maybe put a cross in, he'll put a header in or something. They don't have that, and I feel like it really hurt them. And if anything, this game or the game that's gone by might spur them to do them. I say spur them, might help them do something in January. So you never know.
I feel like they're waiting for that Haaland deal, to be honest with you, next summer. That's because I feel like they got the free run. But we have to wait and see on that. All right, we're moving on to Real Madrid versus Sheriff. Yeah.
Oh man.
Hey, is that the biggest shock in UEFA Champions League history? Because this is 13 times Champions League winners, Real Madrid, yeah, at home, the Bernabeu, yeah, against Sheriff, yeah, who are a debutant in this competition right now. Like literally, and they've won their first two games in a group consisting Inter Milan and Real Madrid. Is it the biggest shock in UEFA Champions League history?
Honestly, I think it has to be up there. Surely, you know what? It has to be there. Against Real Madrid, they've won. When I looked at the table, I was like, wait, what? 6 points at the top with Real Madrid and the Inter. Like they're most like they're going through. It looks like they
Pretty
can
much
actually go through.
Yeah.
That's crazy. No, it has to be. Because even during the game, when they went 1-0 up, I was like, Real Madrid they're just gonna come back. They might even get the last minute double. Like you never know, they'll come back easy. I saw it go 1-1. I was like, yeah, Real Madrid got this. Like they're not losing. Then injury time. Away from home, no, that's yeah.
Hey,
Nobody's putting a bet on that, man.
It was a good goal. You know, what's his name? I don't know what his name was. I think his name is Phil or something like that. It was a banger. Like he scored. It was such a goal, yeah. And I'm just like, yo, they've actually shocked Europe right now, yeah. But nobody's even like the thing about it, people were tweeting, yeah, like how their Instagram account hasn't done nothing for the last 3 hours or something like that because everybody's just shocked in their country, yeah, about how they beat Real Madrid. But obviously they're top in the group. Obviously, as you said, 2 wins from 2, and they pretty much through, I guess. But we'll wait and see. I mean, they got the double header. I think it's going to be against. I think it'll be against Inter Milan. So we'll see how that. We'll see how that pans out in that. A 72nd goal in the Champions League for Benzema. Do you see this as a blip for Real Madrid, or is this part of a bigger issue?
Man, it's kind of tough because I feel like they've been doing all right in the league, but I don't know. I've always said a couple Real Madrid fans, I tell them their league is dipping, especially with Messi leaving as well, Barcelona. The overall quality, I feel like it's just dropped, or maybe the other teams have come up a little bit. So like the balance from Real Madrid, Barca's, Atleticos to even your Valencia's, Villarreal's and whatnot, they're starting to bridge. And I feel like Real Madrid, if you take Benzema out of that team, that's very similar to. I know they still have your Modric's and Kroos's, but those guys are aging. Even Casemiro,
they started on the bench yesterday. They started on the bench yesterday. And Modric. Like they started on the bench yesterday, and I was surprised. I think Bale's injured, but even him at Real Madrid, what has he really done? Like apart from those Champions League finals.
He's done.
This rebuild, like that they're trying to do, how long do you think it's going to take?
Honestly, I feel like I know you said you think Haaland is going to go to City, but I honestly feel like they're going to go major in next summer. They have to. Otherwise, they're finished. Look, Hazard, they went for Hazard. They spent the crazy money on him. It's clear to say, like, it's a flop. Like, he's completely just dipped majorly. They need to either get rid of him or at least sideline him, make him basic. Bale, like you said, he's not really doing anything. He's kind of old as well. Bring in Haaland. Bring in Mbappe. They got Camavinga there. Bring in as many superstars as you can, because relatively Mbappe is basically free. Haaland 75 mil, and then you can add a few more if you can. If you're getting outgoings, they need to rebuild the whole team again because the post Ronaldo, getting Hazard, getting some of these players, it's not worked. None of them. Benzema is not enough. He's a good player, but even for me personally, I don't see him as high as certain people that rate him, you know. So they need to get a bit more cutting edge. He's old as well, so they need to restart the build if they want to maintain that Galactico sort of status.
One more on Real Madrid. So what has actually happened to Eden Hazard, man? Like the player that we saw at Chelsea is no longer that player right now. Yesterday, he looked a shadow of himself. I watched a bit of highlights this afternoon, and I was like, I don't know what's happened to this guy, but he looks finished. So what's happened to him?
Man, it's painful. It's painful to see because honestly, when he left Chelsea, I obviously hated it that he left. But I was like, I'm ready to even watch Real Madrid a bit more, and I'll be a bit more happy now when Real Madrid win stuff. But Jesus, I think he scored the one preseason goal, and then after that, nothing. The injury, and then since then, it just nothing's just been going for him. And personally, I felt like at the start they don't play like when you watch him at Chelsea. And I don't know if I'm not saying Chelsea played the greatest or whatever, but the way we allowed him to play, he played a bit more free roam, a bit more the game's through him. You got to make him the main guy, otherwise it's not going to click as well. At Lille, he was pretty much the main guy. Give him the ball, he'll dribble. At Chelsea, basically the same thing. At Real Madrid, I feel like because there's so many quality players, you got Modric able to pick up the ball and drive with the ball if he wants to. You got, multiple other players. Vinicius, he can also dribble. Everybody else can dribble. Benzema can do his own thing. So then it makes Hazard a bit of a, side guy. And he is never the guy to bang goals. Like, I know he did it, like, to some extent, but he's no Salah. He's no sort of, even Mane. He don't get goals like that. He never was a guy. He's a creator. And I feel like for the past 2 seasons, I guess now Benzema's the only guy, but Real Madrid's attack hasn't, since Ronaldo's left, their attack has been lackluster. It's not the same attack no more. And now they want Hazard to be the guy to get goals, but he's not that guy. And then on top, his performance, his confidence, his physique is all off. So I think at this point,
look at the comment here. Yeah. He said Hazard, the Belgian Nicky Minaj. He's Bunda vibes now.
I'm finished, man. Fuck. He's done, man. Oh man. Man said Bunda vibes.
he said deep this. Ronaldo went to Madrid, won 4 Champions Leagues. Hazard went to Madrid, gained 4 stone. That says it all, bro. That says it all right there. Big up vibes in the chat. Hey, AC Milan versus Atletico Madrid. The game finished 2-1 to Atletico Madrid. Late winner, last minute penalty from Suarez. His first goal away in the Champions League since 2015. Milan were very unlucky to not get away with the 3 points in that game. Frank Kessie got a red card for 2 yellows. And I mean, boy, I feel like after 2 games, and that's your group as well, AC Milan. I mean, no, you're Chelsea, sorry. But yeah, in that group with Liverpool, like they unlucky, man. That first game got beat by a late Henderson winner, and now a late Suarez winner. But their return to the Champions League's been good. I mean, Athletico, we've been the last show we spoke about Simeone and his tactics, how he's stifling João Felix, and how he's basically a terrorist to football right now. But he got the win. He got the win, and I can't. Hey, I mean, it is what it is. What do you think about Atletico Madrid?
No, I feel like I know they got the win, but I have to agree with what you guys were talking about last time. This guy, he is a terrorist. Let's be real. I personally, I was pissed when I seen AC Milan not get a result, or at least a draw, because like you said, Atletico's football. Jesus, I know Griezmann got a decent goal, but they're like the new Mourinho. They're like I say new Mourinho. Simeone has been doing this for ages, and nobody likes playing. Nobody likes watching Atletico, and nobody likes playing against Atletico. They're just that team that you know what they're gonna do, and I guess obviously Kessie getting the red card just ruined the whole sort of dynamic of the game. But AC Milan is harsh, but they deserve to get something. And with Atletico, they have quite a few attacking players. I feel like their recruitment has been pretty solid. I don't know if it's Simeone who's attracting these players or the club with maybe the wages they're offering, or I don't know, but the players they're getting is great. But their football is like a contradiction of of recruitment and play style. But I feel like because of Simeone, and because I'm sure the Athletico fans, they surely love him. Of course, they might be frustrated with his play at times, but the guy, he won the league last season. He's won the league before as well against Real Madrid and Barca. That's no easy feat, and they've always been in the Champions League. So I don't know. It's just one of them. I personally would like to see. I'd like to see change, but obviously he'd have to leave at that point. And the guy's getting paid. I think he's one of the top paid managers in the world. So I guess they'll just have to wait it out, because a guy like Felix, he deserves to be playing some, attacking football. We're not seeing the best of this guy because of all this, not basic, but anti-football, if you must. But
yeah, like vibes says the Felix transfer isn't spoken about enough, and it's true, because like with the cost that he came to Athletical with, like nobody speaks about him as a flop, or like how like football Twitter is, they will jump on like any type of signing. If it wasn't Havertz last season, it's Sancho this season, but the João Felix one's gone on the radar. I think it's because of the size of Atletico, because they're not the biggest in Spain. So it's flown under the radar, but the cost of that transfer was a lot for what he's producing right now. I'm not too sure.
I agree.
Big up Paul in the chat. He said, Roland, how many screens were you watching? Did you see every game? Multitask. Hey, I'm on it, man. My BT subscription helps me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I can watch games whenever I need to. So I can't lie. All right. Yesterday, we had Porto versus Liverpool. Demolition job by Liverpool, winning that game 5-1. Mo Salah, 31 goals in the Champions League, the second highest African scorer of all time in the Champions League, only behind Drogba, who had 44 goals. Curtis Jones with a hat-trick of assists. Can Liverpool win this Champions League again? I mean, the way they're looking right now, I mean, obviously they had that little blip against Brentford on the weekend, but so far this season, their start has been pretty flawless. Like, and Van Dijk is back to full fitness. Salah is still banging in those goals. Can they make a run for the Champions League this season?
I'll be honest, yeah. Like in my head, there's only about 4 or 5 teams that I can see winning the Champions League, and Liverpool are definitely one of them. And I'm sure if we look at the stats, when you look at the amount of goals scored, I think Liverpool just completely trashed everyone. I believe it's over 11 or definitely over 10, I think. And their attacking force, that stat you just mentioned of Salah, as much as I hate bigging up this guy, man, but he honestly is a threat. Like every game, just put money down. The guy's scoring. He's scoring or assisting. It's insane how, like, and at this point, obviously you can say Klopp's system and whatnot helps bring out the best, but even sometimes the personnel they put. I heard somebody say, "Oh, Salah scores so much because Trent Arnold is on the pitch." I believe Milner was playing right back, right?
Yeah,
and they still do the same thing. So, man, they got Van Dijk, if Van Dijk, Fabinho, Salah, Alisson are in that team, Liverpool can do anything. And even then, even one of them out, they still got the quality. And on top, it's Liverpool. They've got that Champions League aura about them. Like when they show up, I feel like, I don't know if it's because of their fans or whatever, but they do always have this fight in them. Unless the opposition are really good, that they're always like on job. And I think Salah, this guy, he is crazy. He's crazy right now. He's definitely, for me, probably top 3 in the world attackers. Top 3. Top 3. I won't even lie.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, because I think like what you said about Liverpool being like that pedigree with them in the Champions League that they have, right? It's always going to carry them in good stead in most of the against most opponents in the Champions League. And then obviously with Salah being so inevitable, right? Like I think it's beyond the system of Klopp that's made him this good. I feel like that setback that he had early on in his career, moving from Barca to Chelsea, and then obviously getting sold on, him going to rebuild his career in Serie A, to come back to Premier League, come back to Liverpool and say, I'm gonna make it here. And what he's done over the last, I think, what's he been at Liverpool now? 5 years? Is it 5, 6 years now?
Yeah, five.
Like 5 years.
2017, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so yeah, he's on 5 years now, right? And like what he's done in that time, like quickest to 100 goals, I believe it is in I think all time of Liverpool scorers. And like what he's doing in the Champions League is mad as well, because where you consider where he came from, he would have had a few seasons out of the Champions League because of obviously going to Serie A. He played for Roma and Fiorentina, so he had some spell out. So for him to come in and then in these last 4 seasons, let's say Liverpool have been in the Champions League, for him to run up the amount of goals he has is crazy, you know. And you know, I feel like that team is coming together. You're seeing Curtis Jones, he got a hat-trick of assists yesterday. He's really grown up a lot over the last season as well. Last season, he made his debut, and then for him to kind of grow the way he has, to be performing on that level in the Champions League now, I mean, it's showing something. And I feel like they're going to be hard to stop once the momentum starts. I mean, like they can get another win. Who's in their group again? So it's Porto, Liverpool, Atletico. Yeah, so that's a double header. That's gonna be a very good game, because we saw what happened the last time that they played each other. So I can't wait to see that.
True. That'll be a very good game. I'd say as well, the only thing about Liverpool, which I think even their own fans were ready to accept, and why they weren't pushing them to be favourites for even the Premier League, maybe not the Champions League, is simply maybe injuries. Their squad. Obviously, you mentioned guys like Curtis Jones, and I even agree. I had sort of faith that this kid, you know, I've seen him play sometimes, and he does do decent. He's not like, he doesn't come and drop stinkers. When he plays, he takes his chance pretty well. And they do have a few players that can come in and fill. But if they start to get any sort of losses with Fabinho, or maybe Van Dijk, then you might start to see potential dips. But even then, you know, I think even Salah, minus the COVID, I don't think I've seen this guy get injured. He's always just playing. So obviously, don't wish injuries upon anyone. But that's the only thing I could see like majorly hampering them. Otherwise, they look strong. They look strong in the Champions League, I'll be honest.
Cool. I mean, let's move on to another game. Before we do that, let me get into some more comments. Big up Brush in the building. He says, it's a well-oiled machine. When you have a set system and are well coached, others can come in and they can still move. Yep, it's true. Salah is like Thanos. The guy's inevitable. It doesn't look great on the eye. His finishing is dodgy, but the numbers are still crazy. Yeah, and I agree with that. Dortmund versus Sporting Lisbon yesterday ended 1-0 to Dortmund. Donny Marlins with the only goal, and an assist from Bellingham. This is 100th club appearance, and he's only 18 years old. Like, so as in total career games, he's already got 100. He's only 18. I'm gonna throw a question at you. Is he England's best midfielder right now? There's a lot of them out there, but I'm telling you, like when you watch him play, he's looking different level.
You know what's mad? If I base it on just when I'm watching them, and I just straight watching, I don't want to think of Oh man, there's so many.
There's many, but look,
guys like Foden, and you know what? He probably is midfielder. And what I see in a midfielder, he's got the physique, the physicality, the passing, the defensive attributes, because he's got that. People don't see that often, but he's got the defensive attributes. Going forward, he got the assist for that goal. He can score goals. His forward runs. He's an intelligent player. When you watch him, you don't think he's as old as he is.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing. When he plays, you think he's about what, a 25-year-old player or 20, but he's only 18. That's
18.
That's still insane to think. And that question is mad because obviously there's so many. I feel like people are gonna get mad at me even saying.
But right
right
now,
now,
I can't see anybody that's better than him, in my opinion. Like, you can call me Declan Rice, you can say Calvin Phillips, you can say, you can't the who. Like, you know what I mean? I feel like he's the best right now. Like, you can't be performing in the Champions League. This is 2 games in a row. So he scored against Besiktas. He's assisted the goal to get the win. That's 2 wins out of 2. They're on course to qualify in that group now. Like, I can't, and his influence.
You know what? It's true.
I mean, look, and there was no Haaland yesterday. Haaland was injured as well. So I mean, like, he has to take up the mantle. He took on the responsibility and he did what he needs to do. So I mean, I feel like there's a case right there for him being one of the best midfielders in England right now. You know what I mean?
Actually, you know what? You're right, because if I was to take out how have I escaped Bellingham? If I was to take out Bellingham right now, and I ask you who's the best England midfielder, there's not really standout. I can't think of a standout guy.
You'd say Grealish to an extent, but obviously, like, the price tag at City is weighing him down right now, I believe, because he's expected to perform at a higher level that I think is beyond him at this moment in time. I feel he's going to need another few months to settle into that City side,
at least,
before, like, we can start talking about it, because his start hasn't been great, to be honest.
It hasn't.
From what we expected anyway, but like, I just have a feeling that this kid is on his way, and I don't know, there's going to be a big scramble for his signature when he leaves Dortmund, and he will leave probably in the next couple of seasons. I think he will leave. I know Chelsea, I know United are definitely interested in him, so we'll see what happens, to be honest. Now go on, you was going to say something.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying, just you saying Jack Grealish is the next guy just makes it easy. Then he's definitely the best English midfielder right now, because man, they're all not performing as great right now. And Bellingham, he's doing his thing. I can't even lie.
Cool. The last game from yesterday was a bit of a boring one. I flicked it on for like a little bit. Inter versus Shakhtar Donetsk ended 0-0. There was many chances for both sides, I won't lie, but nothing really came about from it. And to be honest, I didn't really take much from the game, except for, certain man didn't have their shooting boots on, you get me? So it is what it is.
Yeah, nah. You know what's funny? Because similar to you as well, I flicked through the game, and I think I was on the way back from work, so I was just watching a bit of it. For the first part, though, it was quite back and forth, and I think I came on a few minutes before Barella had that chance where he sort of drove from the left, whacked it, crossbar, could have went in. It was a great strike. There was another chance where Dzeko, he should have scored. I don't know how he skied it there, and obviously later on I sort of switched, and I'm thinking, okay, one of them's definitely scoring, and I come back in the end and I see it's 0 now. I'm like, no way that at least Inter should have taken their chance, but Shakhtar were coming forward as well and posing threats, but it's I think disappointing for both of them, because one of them at least could have taken 3 points from that, and it's definitely going to hurt them now, I think, going forward, since Real Madrid didn't get their win as well. So
yeah, I mean, what's even mad about Shakhtar Donetsk, right? Like, they've not played at home for I don't know how many years, 3, maybe 4 years. Like, because of the situation going on in Ukraine, they actually had to move to another stadium in Ukraine, and that's where they've been playing their home football for the last 3-4 years. So I'm mad surprised that that's been going on, and they've been able to do that. But yeah, it is what it is. Let me just get into this comment.
I didn't even know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's mad. It makes me laugh when people post that Keira Knightley picture from Bend It Like Beckham for Grealish. I need to check that picture out, because Bend It Like Beckham was some years ago, bro. I ain't watched it in so long. I ain't gonna lie. I need to go back and see that again. All right, let's get into today's fixtures. This is a big one for you. You got to talk to me about Juventus versus Chelsea. 1-0 win for Juventus. Chiesa with the only goal. I've seen a lot of Chelsea fans on the timeline going mad at a number of different players and Tuchel. Tell me what happened, bro. I think he's frozen. I don't know if you can see me or not, but we will continue and I'll see if he can sort out his technical issues. I'm going to remove him from the stream right now and I'm going to bring him back in. I'm going to tell him to come back in. But yeah, we'll move into Chelsea. And then I think he's back. You back, bro?
We're back. Connected there real quick. Yeah, so as you were saying,
talk to me about Chelsea, man. Like the TL was moving mad, like having to go at a number of different players and Tuchel. What are you saying, man?
Man, just us talking, I forgot about the game now. My head's hot again, man. Oh man. Look, I feel like with Chelsea, obviously the City game, I guess, exposed some different issues I guess the setup wasn't right, to be fair, that game. But this game shows the story of Chelsea's, like, not just under Tuchel, but for some time, like since Sarri or maybe Conte's second season. I've always said it before to a lot of people on Twitter Spaces. They know. I said, if you want to beat Chelsea, mirror their formation, play 5 at the back or 3 defenders at the back, and sit back, sit deep, counter. Juve today literally did the exact same thing. They sat deep. They marshaled Lukaku. I think the Juve boys, they know Lukaku. They played with him like a whole year. They played against him. And I think Juve was one of the teams he struggled to score against. Bonucci had him at the back. It was in his pocket. Literally in his pocket. The boys, when you sit back against Chelsea, the passing starts to become slow because they give it to the centre-backs. They're giving it left and right. You give it to Jorginho, Kovacic. They're looking up forward. They don't know where to pass to. We had Alonso in the wing back, Aspi the other wing back. Alonso on the ball, he can't. We all know he's not the type of guy to drive and dribble past people. Aspi the same. So, and then we had Ziyech and Havertz. Both our 10s haven't been performing. It's been a major concern for Chelsea as of recent games. Our 10s are not really, creating, basically. They're not getting on the ball. They're not taking the game by the scruff of the neck. So pretty much nearly all round, I'd say the chemistry is not right. And I feel like that has been an issue for Tuchel these past couple games. He's trying to figure out what formation is best to really attack these teams. And Juve today, credit to them, they defended very well. Keep in mind, they didn't have Morata or Dybala. Which makes this even more embarrassing. So I feel like they just relied on, I guess, countering. And Chiesa, let me just say, Chiesa, during the summer, we were linked to him, and I was thinking, why the hell are we linked to him?
He's a baller.
I should have realized even after, from Juve times, he was doing decent.
But in the Euros,
last season, and in the Euros, the guy was balling out. And today he showed that, and you forget the guy's only 22 or 21 or 23. He plays serious. Maybe because he played with Ronaldo for a second, he upped his game. But boy, the guy is serious, and
his dad was a serious baller as well. Like, so it's in the
exactly,
family.
It's in the genes. They got it. So I can't lie. In terms of analyzing, maybe I've got a few things off. We did make a lot of changes, but we still just didn't have that cutting edge. And I think this is a big issue for Tuchel going forward. He still needs to, as you said, a lot of people in the TL, I feel like everybody's just going to be frustrated. People are going to be blaming this, blaming that, blaming everything. So right now, Tuchel really has to try and find the balance right and figure out where the main problems are, because at the moment it's looking like it's different spots across the pitch. Maybe not the defense, because the defense always does its job decently. Obviously, a lapse of concentration. We literally conceded as soon as the second half started, which is so poor, because you have your whole halftime talk and then you come out and concede seconds later. Oh man, my head's just still hot thinking about it. But yeah, no, I think Tuchel going forward, he needs to try and, because for me, Lukaku didn't have a great game. Havertz, I've been trying to defend this guy. Havertz was poor. Like, he had a few chances, but as an attacker, you need to get yourself in the game. If the ball's not coming to you, get yourself in the game. Ziyech, same old Ziyech. Like, we know he's been poor. Same old. So,
See Ziyech, yeah. Let me just touch on Ziyech real quick, right? I've had this theory for some time, right, where players that have come from the Dutch league, especially over the last few years, that league standard has come down so much over the last 15 years that when these players move from an Ajax or a PSV and come to an elite level league, they tend to struggle because it's just too different. The gap between the two games, it's just so different. And so what we saw Ziyech doing in the Champions League for Ajax and what he was doing in the league and the statistics that come behind that, coming into this Chelsea side, there's a lot of pressure for him to perform at that same level. But it's just a different game, and it's just another step up that I don't think he's able to climb. Like, what do you think has gone wrong for him during his time at Chelsea?
Yeah, no, I think you got it spot on, because I've been struggling to feel like, why hasn't he been performing from before he came, and why it's been most disappointing is that he was the one out of Havertz, Werner, you know, him included, even Lukaku coming in. Well, maybe not Lukaku coming in, but that season before, Ziyech was the guy I was like, this is the guy to unlock our attack. He's the one to now get everything ticking. And his first game or preseason game or the early start, he looked all right. He looked decent. He looked like he was instantly linking up with Werner or whoever he was. His passes were crisp. And then I guess obviously the whole Lampard dip, everything was going bad. He had an injury at the start, came back, and then he never really got like solid. And I think this is where you're right with the thing you said. The pace of the league, Premier League in particular, it looked like it's too much for him. He doesn't have the, I don't know how to put it, he doesn't have the time to really execute what he's trying to do. He misplaced passes. Like last season, there was so many times where if we're on the transition counter-attack, pick out the pass to slip the guy through, he messes it up. And it's like an easy pass, he messes it up. So I don't know. Well, I said I don't know. I feel like you said, I think it's still just a matter of trying to transition. And on top of that, like you said, with the pressure, because he is one of the older attackers, because other than Lukaku that's just coming, he's 28 going to 29. He doesn't have the excuse that these other guys have. Mount, Havertz, they're young. Werner, okay, he's a bit older, 25, but he's still older than. So I look at Ziyech and I expect more, and I feel like he knows that himself. And when he's doing all of these bad performances, I feel like the next game he's like, let me prove myself, and then he does this loop where he's just not performing. This game in particular, I thought it wasn't as bad in terms of him forcing stuff, but the quality just wasn't there. And not only him, but I guess the link up within the Chelsea attack isn't good anyway. So it's like, from even last season, I said it, when you bring a whole new attack together to now play, they're not gonna click straight away. They need time. And I think throughout last season to this, there's never been a consistent 3 or consistent 2, whoever's playing up top. So I feel like that chemistry, and I feel like Ziyech is the type of player that he thrives on player connection and link up, and to sort of telepathically read people. He's not getting that. He's doing his own thing, and he's off the wavelength of everybody, and unfortunately, it's not clicking. So I think I don't want to sound harsh, but with the amount of attackers we have, he probably, if he doesn't perform, he'll probably be out the door.
He'll be gone. Yeah, like
soon.
I mean, Chelsea, very ruthless club with the way they move players on. You've got Cho waiting in the wings, really like itching for a start, and he could be the one that has to give way to let Cho come in because I feel like Tuchel blocked Cho's potential loan deal to Dortmund on deadline day, and Cho must be sitting there thinking like, when am I going to get my chance? You know what I mean? So. Hey, I mean, it's interesting, but I mean, obviously losing that game, it now kind of makes so who's your next game in the Champions League?
I believe it is now Malmo. So we played them last. I think they lost. If I'm correct, 4-0 to Zenit, or maybe 2. I'm not sure. To be fair, I didn't look at it.
Let me have a check. They lost 4-0 to Zenit.
4. Jesus.
Yeah. So I mean,
that should be a win.
It should be, it's a double header, so it should be 2 wins right there. To kind of get you in pole position, I guess, but we'll have to wait and see on that. Wait, on to the next game. United, last minute winner.
Oh man,
Cristiano Ronaldo. Oh my days. I mean, for me, it was such a frustrating watch. I think the team sheet came out an hour before the game, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not gonna complain. Whoever has been put out on that pitch, go and get the win, and we can talk about it later. And then for minute 1, it just wasn't good. I'm seeing Dalot getting cooked by Danjuma, who last season was playing in the Championship for Bournemouth. So every single time that Villarreal had the ball, straight towards Dalot. And obviously, 3 of our back 4 were out. Luke Shaw injured, Maguire injured, Wan-Bissaka suspended. And Dalot was getting cooked by Danjuma. They played really well. They were unlucky to not get 2 or 3 goals in that first half. Villarreal take the lead. And, for me, I was just, I wasn't happy about it. They took the lead through Paco Alcacer in the 53rd minute. And you're thinking to yourself, like, what is going on? Why are we playing? Like, why are we so open? Like, I'm thinking to myself, McTominay was brought in to be a sole holding midfielder, but every single time that we don't have the ball, he vacates the space. And so it makes it easy for the opposing team to just play into that space and then keep moving the ball forward. And so for me, I was just like, you know what? I don't even want to complain. I'm just going to watch because at the end of the day, that's what we can do. But I'm watching United from a vibes perspective right now. I don't know what Ollie's going to do because, like, at the end of the day, he's got a run of fixtures that I know he's not going to be able to recover from. But we'll wait and see. But in the end, we get the win. Equalizer from Telles is a great move, a great set piece from Bruno Fernandes. They had a little conversation before he took the free kick. He kind of chips it into his path and he volleys it into the bottom corner of the net. Such a good goal.
Great goal.
And then we get the late winner, Lingard's influence. So the subs from Ollie, I can't complain. The subs from Ollie there, I got to give him credit. Like, he brings on Lingard. I mean, I was surprised that he took off Pogba and brought on Matic, brought on another striker in Cavani to just try and put another body in there. And I feel like the passion of the things that he keeps talking about, passion and intensity and all of that, is what kind of gave us that goal, in the end, where we were pressing, trying to do the whole, Stretford end, sucking the ball into the net and all that stuff that he's talking about. And it happened, man. Ronaldo getting the winner and it paid off, man. I don't know, man. It's just, there's a lot of things to unpack in that game, and I'm just like, I'll probably do that tomorrow, really, in the match preview. I'll give it a little rundown. But for me, it was a very frustrating watch. I'm glad we got the win because I swear down, I'm not trying to hear that. I'm not trying to hear that Europa League music next from February. I swear I can't hear that Europa League music again. I'm done with it. But yeah, man. Winner from Ronaldo. I mean, that's what, 5 goals in 5 games for him now, which is mad. I feel like Greenwood played really well. Like, he was being a lot less selfish than he was on Saturday against Villa. He was actually crossing in the ball. He was actually linking play. He was like, he was doing a lot of out to in runs, out to in runs, yeah, off the right hand side to just kind of link in with the attack there. Sancho played really well. I feel like he's starting to settle down now. I feel like the supporters are still on his back, and rival fans obviously are going to say what they need to say, and that's cool. But I've said that you got to give the kid time. He's only 21, new league. He has to settle. He's settling in now. I feel like he's feeling a little bit more confident. We'll see a lot more of him in the next few games. But man, it was a stressful watching. Big up Manchester Mania. Me and him were kind of going back and forth during the game, and yeah, I'm glad we got the win. 3 points. I think we're third in the group on goal difference behind, I think, Young Boys. Our next 2 games are against Atalanta, and that's gonna be sticky because Atalanta play
they're an attacking team, man.
They play some good football. So we have to see what happens there. Big up Paul in the chat. He said, "Hey, let's laugh in that Bournemouth lads. I can see broken stadium from my window." I think it means what's their stadium called?
Is it no
Vitality or something?
Vitality, yeah, I think.
Big up Paul in the chat. But yeah, let's move on to Barcelona. They lost 3-0 tonight. Is this the biggest fall from grace in European football?
Oh God! but Barcelona, man. You know, obviously, it's Messi leaving. We knew it was gonna be hard for them, but for them to lose in, like, you know, this is 2 games now. Obviously, Bayern, we expected they weren't gonna win, but they need to do something. You'd expect them to come harder to try, because if you're not getting points against these guys, where are you expecting to get the points? Like Benfica, I know Benfica obviously champions of their league, but they're the teams you expect to get points off. And you know, it just looks like a major disaster class right now. Koeman, obviously, it looks like he's under pressure. His style of play, I know he's brought in Depay and he's got De Jong there and some of these players, but I don't know if I feel like he's not the one. And Barca, they probably have to move quick and get him out of there, because not only in the Champions League but in the league as well, they are not playing great football. I think, am I right if they conceded within the first 10 minutes?
Yeah.
In that first game, that's at this point it's embarrassing. They didn't even get back to score one, and they're bringing players back like Fati and whatnot. I know he scored on his return or the second game in. You know, if you want to let some of these boys come in and you know, pick themselves up, the likes of Pedri himself. I think obviously De Jong might have been suspended this game, I'm not sure, but you know, there needs to be an aura about the team, some sort of confidence. Right now, it's on the floor, and like you said, Barca, even with Messi there, the previous years, they've been struggling in the Champions League for so long. It was Messi's goal to get the Champions League one more time, and the team's just been weakening. And as of right now, probably the weakest it's ever been. Their centre backs, other than Piqué, and even Piqué, I don't think is that great anymore. Their centre backs don't really strike fear in people. Their full backs, I think today they played with wing backs Dest and was it Roberto? I don't even know who the other guy was. You know, it's the quality all round is not. It's not threatening. It looks like they're playing like kids or something with a few like old other guys, Busquets and, you know, Depay and De Jong, who I think came from, was it Sevilla or Valencia?
Yeah, from Seville. Yeah,
Seville. Yeah, it looks like it looks like it's a regular La Liga team now. It doesn't look like Barcelona. And they need to. I don't know. They need to switch it up, because this is definitely the worst we've seen Barcelona, and it is a shame, to be honest.
They got to go back to their roots, man. They got to start like picking young players from La Masia, the academy, because the end of the day, that's the only thing that's going to save them. They don't have the funds to go out there and go on a massive shopping spree because they don't have the funding. They don't have the backing from any type of owners, because they're a partly fan-owned club as well.
Yeah.
So they're not going to be able to go out and do that. I feel like Koeman is gone, in my opinion. I feel like we're going to see that comunicado oficial very, very soon.
Yeah.
And I think if I was him, I'd walk away at this point because, like, you're going to tarnish your legacy at the club because he's one of their legends at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So I would walk away because at the end of the day, this is a situation that you probably won't turn around yourself. It'll be the next manager that comes in will probably be able to turn that around because there'll be a better plan of action. So, as I said, they got to fall back and just try and back the youth in their team. I'm surprised the Aguero signing, like, it didn't really make sense to me, like, why they brought him in. Because, like, if he was gonna, I understand it if Messi was there, but with Messi gone, it doesn't make sense anymore, in my opinion. Because you look at Memphis. Memphis is now kind of transitioned from a winger to like a false nine type of player. Like he can do that job. He's kind of like a 9.5, 10. It's one of those weird, very weird kind of, but you know what he's trying to do. And so now, like, he's now going to have to start playing off Aguero if they're going to be playing together and stuff. And it is mad to see how far they've fallen. But the fact of the matter is, we kind of seen this. We could have seen this happening for the last few years because of, Messi and his brilliance has masked a lot of what's going on at that club. And I'm not sure that, because I mean, they've lost their first 2 games. We could see them in the Europa League. We really could. Like, I don't know who's in their group. I need to just double check to make sure.
Benfica, Barca, Bayern,
and Dynamo Kiev.
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, they got 2 games against Dynamo Kiev. I think the game in Ukraine will be a bit more difficult, but we'll see, because if they lose their next game, I think they're more or less out.
Yeah, they'll be out.
If they lose, they're more or less out, and it's about trying to salvage something from that group to see if they can even get Europa League, because then they've got to play Benfica and Bayern in their last 2 games. And that's not going to look good for them, man. It's mad. It's absolutely mad. It's absolutely mad. And then on to the final game for these round of fixtures. Bayern, another demolition job against Dynamo Kiev. They won 5-0. Goals from, let me just double check.
Lewandowski, man, this guy.
Lewandowski got 2. Gnabry, Choupo-Moting, the best agent of all time, he's got. and Leroy Sané. Mate, I mean, Nagelsmann, he looks like he's beginning to settle at Bayern, like, and there's the way they're playing football right now. It's kind of like they've stepped up a level on Hansi Flick and his style of play. Do you think he can take Bayern all the way?
Right now, yeah, I'll be honest. There's not much for me to say no regarding Bayern. Obviously, they need to. I say they need to, but I need to see them against a decent to top level team. Obviously, Barca are not. You would have thought on paper that they'd cause problems, but they're not good at the moment. Obviously, round 16, once they get through, we'll see. But there's no doubt Bayern for the past 2 to 3 years, they always are a good team. They win their league every year, but they've looked very, very, deadly. And I think maybe with the force of Lewandowski in his recent years, we obviously know the year he got robbed of the Ballon d'Or. The year after, obviously, I know they got knocked out by PSG, but it was a very tight game. I think Lewandowski actually, he missed that game where Bayern were just peppering and unfortunately didn't.
Yeah, I remember. I think he was in the first game, but in the return leg, he wasn't there. And there was a few chances that if he was there, he would have bagged.
Yeah, literally. So Bayern, for me personally, they are a team. They are the team to beat. I'll be very honest. And obviously Chelsea are the holders, but we just seen Juve, who barely had players, beat us. Other than PSG, your Liverpool's, maybe Man U, City, like Bayern, I think it's just that team head and shoulders above everyone else. They look complete. They look, I think even guys like Davies has come back into it.
Mm-hmm.
Their defenders, top Neuer, they still have a great goalkeeper in Neuer. Their midfield, Goretzka, like Sané, Gnabry. It's a well-oiled machine. They look perfect. Like, and like you said, Nagelsmann, he's had a bit of time. He's been able to, try things out in their league, get things, patterns of play, and their quality. When I look at their players, their quality is so good that once you get them going,
Mm.
you start coaching them, they'll be able to get it straight away. Lewandowski, you ask him to score, it's easy for him. He'll say, "Yeah, go on then, I got it."
Mm.
And now they look as deadly as ever. And honestly, I think me personally, I'd put them as favourites. I put them as favourites, like straight up.
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've tipped PSG to do it because they don't do it. I swear, if they don't do it, hey, they can stop. Just close the club down. Close down.
Delete.
Yeah, close down Parc des Princes. Like if you don't win it, because I swear they've been building for this for so long. They've got their final piece of the puzzle, and if they do not win this Champions League, is big questions for everybody. I'm telling you now,
Top to bottom. Oh,
but yeah, it's been a great show, man. I want to thank Darren for coming through. Please let the people know where they can find you.
Yeah, no, thank you again for having me. And guys watching, please share, like, and subscribe this video because this is like a great show. You lot should continue to watch and watch all the content on my bro's channel. Guys, if you want to find me, obviously my handle is just there on Twitter. Usually I'm just on Twitter Spaces, normally having convos and whatnot with people regarding football, if it's Chelsea or general football, Premier League, any football really. So yeah, that's how you guys can catch me. You can just drop a follow, and I'll probably follow you back if you're into football as well. So yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much. I want to say thanks to everybody that's been in the chat, people that have been watching. Your comments always make the show, so thank you for that. Please don't forget to follow the socials. They're coming up next. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and we are out. Peace.